Today is April the 30th, day 62 of Operation Epic Fury. The USS Gerald Ford is now headed home. Will be in just a couple of days. There's a lot of happy sailors on there singing Anchors Away. And that is one heck of a feeling to finish a deployment or to start your way home from a deployment that you know that you have accomplished some major goals. And they just got their orders to come home. Iran's Navy commander is on TV threatening a secret weapon. I don't know how much that is, how much truth is to that, other than maybe Lizzo was going to be parachuted into an aircraft carrier to sink it. And the Pentagon just dropped the price tag. They're saying $25 billion is what we've spent so far on this Operation Epic Fury. The same people that are screaming $25 billion for this will never mention the $250 billion that we have sent to Ukraine. Zelensky, his booger sugar addict, and he's probably driving multiple, Bugatti Veyron's all over Ukraine. We've got three stories, one real verdict out of the whole thing. Trump is closing the deal. Tehran knows it. 20 years on submarines. We're going to break it down this morning. But this is a huge bit of information coming in. And I'm pretty happy to see this. But we're going to talk about literally what's dropped in the last 24 hours. Number one, USS Gerald Ford, the largest aircraft carrier ever built, is leaving the Middle East. And this comes on the heels of everything that's going on. The George Bush just got on station just a couple of days ago. It's leaving the Middle East now. The Ford is a record 10-month deployment. They're sending her home. Are we surprised? No, I'm not surprised. But pulling your flagship carrier out of the war zone, the only way you do that is if the work is done. That's number one. Number two, Iran's Navy commander, this Rear Admiral Shahram, whatever, he goes on to local news media and he says that, they've got a secret weapon that they're going to use. And I'll quote him, "We will take swift and decisive action." He's threatening this new weapon. He says the Hormuz stays closed from the Arabian Sea. Tough talk. I don't know from who. I've never heard of this guy. But the guy whose Navy is at the bottom of the Persian Gulf, not my jam here, right? I'm not sure I'm going to take too much information from him. Pentagon comptroller is now saying that this war in this conflict, I would call it, the Operation Epic Fury, is going to cost, or it has cost, $25 billion in the first 2 months. Like I said, nobody was screaming when Biden was sending hundreds of billions of dollars to Iran. A lot of this is just munitions. The CENTCOM commander, Admiral Brad Cooper, says we've got 41 tankers, 69 million barrels of Iranian oil that the regime cannot sell, 69 million barrels just sitting there. The toll booth regime can't move a drop. That's the full picture right now, day 62. The carrier going home, Iran screaming, Iran is broke. This is what victory looks like when the cameras aren't, when they aren't playing. So we're going to get into all of this morning. This is from the Stars and Stripes. It's a military paper, kind of a liberal rag, to be honest with you. But this is the image that they're using to let people know that the Gerald Ford is coming home. And I'm glad to see it. These guys have had a rough go of it. They had a laundry fire. They've had other malfunctions. But overall, a real victory. And I would challenge anyone to say that this is not a real victory. They're going to be headed back to Norfolk, Virginia. They'll go into a shipyard period. They will go into a dry dock. They'll get a lot of maintenance done. They'll probably stop along the way for a Liberty port or two. If they go around the Cape of Good Hope, they will probably stop in somewhere in South Africa down there, and then they'll make their way across the Atlantic back to Virginia. If they go through the Suez Canal, they will stop off, typically in Suda Bay in Crete. Sometimes we stopped in Portugal, coming through the Mediterranean through the Rock. We would even stop in the UK, down in Portsmouth, Plymouth, have a few beers, get some bevies, let the boys be boys, let the girls be girls. We only really have two genders in the military right now. And you can also say thank you to the Secretary of War for that. So there's a lot of stuff going on. I don't know how much credence I put into this article from this Iranian Navy commander saying that we're going to be deeply afraid of their, I don't know what you want to call it, of their quote, secret weapon. Is there anyone that's in the chat that believes anything that Iran is spewing right now? I don't really think so. But hey, I mean, idle threats, you have to put some credence to some of these threats because there's been so many. There's been so many threats. The President of the United States last night at 11:09 p.m., yeah, I was awake, 11:09, the President put this out on X. The storm is coming. Nothing can stop what is coming. Now, I have a couple of theories about this, about what is actually coming. But this was posted by the President last night, like I said, a little before midnight. I have a theory about what is coming. And what is coming is, well, it looks like that now the United States military is going to have some other missile capabilities at their disposal in the Middle East. And I didn't know they didn't have this already, but I'll show you what I believe is coming. U.S. Central Command has requested approval to deploy a missile called the, I don't know who comes up with the names, but give them a pay raise. A missile called the Dark Eagle. The Dark Eagle. It is a long-range hypersonic missile to the Middle East. They're deploying it in the Middle East to target Iranian ballistic missile launchers beyond the reach of the current system. The missile has a range of 1,725 miles. So they're going to deploy this, the Dark Eagle. I love the name of it. If you like the name Dark Eagle, just type 1 for yes, 2 for no in the chat. Let me know where you're all watching from. That's always important so I can get an idea of who I'm talking to and what kind of slang I need to use. If I need to talk more redneck to get the word across, let me know. But let me know where you're watching from. If you're a veteran, if you're the family member of a veteran, also chime in with that because that's very important. But Dark Eagle is getting deployed. Also happening today, the President of the United States is going to get a new briefing on plans for a potential military action in Iran today from Admiral Brent Cooper, General Raisin Kane, and the Secretary of War, I almost said Defense, Pete Hegseth. This is happening today. They're going to give him a briefing. The storm is coming, a briefing. We could have some boom shakalakas rolling in from the skies very soon. Dark Eagle, follow that up with a briefing from CENTCOM, from the Secretary of War, and then you also put that on the cusp of this true social post by the President. The storm is coming. If you want to connect the dots, go for it. I'm not into the 4D chess. I'm not here to sit and talk to you for 4 hours a day to waste your time. I'm going to give it to you hot, heavy, in a hurry, and then I'm going to go to my regular job. But that's kind of what we're seeing right now. The other thing that I brought up, I would say 6 months ago, before Operation Epic Fury started, was, well, the President posted about it right here last night. The United States is studying and reviewing the possible reduction of troops in Germany with a determination to be made over the next short period of time. Thank you for your attention to this matter. I would love to know in the chat, how many of you believe that we need troops in Germany? especially after the German Chancellor Merz came out and said, well, the United States is weak. Iran has embarrassed us. Does anyone think that we need troops in Germany right now? Because I can't keep those dots connected. Germany is not our ally anymore. I don't believe that. I don't believe these NATO countries are our allies. I just don't believe it. And I'd love to get your opinion. Follow me down on X. You can follow me at Navy Vet. It's pretty simple to understand what I do or what I did. Very simple for that. The president of the United States was asked a couple of questions yesterday in the White House in the briefing room. For all you flat earthers, he had the astronauts there, so I know you're going to be upset. You've lost your conspiracy. The world is not flat. Sorry to give you that memo this early in the morning, but there you go.
Mr. President, regarding Iran, how long are you prepared to maintain the blockade? Could that go several more months?
Well, the blockade is genius, okay? The blockade has been 100% foolproof. It shows how good our Navy is, I can tell you that. Nobody's going to play games. We have the greatest military in the world, and I built much of it during my first term, and we've been building it since. And the greatest anywhere in the world, nobody even close. And you see that whether it's Venezuela, and they have a good military in Venezuela, but it was over in one day. It was actually over in about 48 minutes. Iran, the same thing. I mean, militarily, we've wiped them out. They have no military left. It's all the Navy's at the bottom of the sea. The Air Force is never going to fly again. We've got an amazing military. Now they have to cry uncle. That's all they have to do. Just say, we give up. We give up. But their economy is really in trouble. So it's a dead economy.
So will Operation Economic Fury and the blockade get Iran to nuclear talks fast enough, or do you think another wave of strikes will be necessary?
I don't know. It depends. We have talks. We're having talks with them now, and we're not flying anymore with 18-hour flights every time we want to see a piece of paper. We're doing it telephonically, and it's very nice. I make a call, or I have my people make a call, and you know the answer. I always like face-to-face. I consider it better. But when you have to fly 18 hours every time you want to have a meeting, and you know what the meeting's all about, and you know they're going to give you a piece of paper that you don't like before you even leave. It's ridiculous. They've come a long way. The question is whether or not they're going to go far enough. So at this moment, there will never be a deal unless they agree that there will be no nuclear weapons.
The president lays it out pretty specifically. He is not going to deal with Iran as long as they try to maintain nuclear weapons, as long as they try to maintain this nuclear capability or enrichment. He is adamant about that. Completely adamant. I believe we keep the blockade in place as long as frickin' possible. The blockade should stay in place. Just my opinion. And I'm going to put this to a vote in the chat. Can Iran ever recover from this? 49% of you say no. Okay, so 50%. I don't know if Iran can recover from this, but I'm gonna ask this: should the USA keep the blockade in place? My opinion, I've already given it to you. I think the blockade stays in place through the midterm elections. That's what I think. I think Iran is bluffing. I saw a comment there. I agree with that. I believe Iran is bluffing. I think they're a bunch of grifters. Thank you, Cassandra. 10 memberships. We always try to get new memberships on the channel. Grab some memberships. You get access to a Discord server. It's a private chat. Really appreciate that. Larry, thank you for the $2 super chat. Thank you, Larry. Larry dropping, I think I've got one of these Thomas Jeffersons right here. Thank you, Larry. Thomas Jefferson. This one's not been near a stripper's butthole. Thank you very much. And Kurt, thank you for becoming a member. Become a member on the channel. It's just a good group of people. Now, the other thing, and that conversation that the president had with the media, breaking down exactly why he won't concede, why he won't give up. Let me ask this, because the Pentagon or some of these people are going to come at you with $25 billion. We spent $25 billion. We spent $25 billion. How much is Iran's collapse? How much is Iran? If Iran were to have a nuclear missile, how much is that worth? How much is that worth in the chat? Is Iran's nuclear capabilities worth 100 million, 300 million, 500 million, 100 billion? We gave Iran, I would say 10 billion on a low estimate is how much that Barack Hussein Obama gave them. That's just my opinion. Ben, did the Stars and Stripes really turn libtard? Absolutely. The Stars and Stripes is a liberal rag of a newspaper. It's sad because it's a military paper. That's the pitiful situation there. It really is. And it kind of disgusts me whenever they try to politicize the United States military. They politicize the news that the military would get. It really pisses me off. I'll just say that. It pisses me off. But hey, that's what they do, right? That is what they do. And I don't know if it'll ever change. It could, but I don't know if it ever does. Now, the other thing, and I don't know how many of you saw this yesterday, was the Secretary of War met, or he was called to Congress, and the guy isn't playing any games. He is a combatant. He is a warrior, and he's going to fight for the troops. He's going to fight for the people that are defending this country. And these wacko Congress people, they're just in the way.
But if I may,
Sure. Yeah.
I didn't get a chance. I didn't see a question in the statement from the congressman. I hope you appreciate how reckless it is. When I said reckless, feckless, and defeatist of congressional Democrats at the beginning, that came after watching you say the same thing on CNN this morning, a quagmire. My generation served in a quagmire in Iraq and Afghanistan, years and years of nebulous missions and utopian nation building that led us to nothing. What we have right now, the way you stain the troops when you tell them 2 months in, Congressman, you should know better. Shame on you. Calling this a quagmire 2 months in. The effort, what they've undertaken, what they've succeeded, the success on the battlefield that could create strategic opportunities, the courage of a president to confront a nuclear Iran, and you call it a quagmire, handing propaganda to our enemies. Shame on you for that statement. And statements like that are reckless to our troops. Don't say I support the troops on one hand, and then a 2-month mission is a quagmire. That's a false equivalation. Who are you cheering for here? Who are you pulling for?
Isn't it strange to see members of Congress cheering for the Iranians? We're seeing it across the country with American citizens that would cheer for the Iranians. I'm ready for people in America, actual American citizens, to start chanting Aloha Snack Bar and DTA. And we all know what DTA stands for. The same people that applauded King Charles coming to our country are doing this. And this goes back to very close to what the Vietnam veterans experienced. When they were coming home from Vietnam, they were being spit on. They were being called baby killers. They were being absolutely abused. They were never given a welcome home. And that's one of the most important phrases or things that you could say to a Vietnam veteran: welcome home, because they never got it. They never got a welcome home. Vietnam veterans never got a parade. If they have lately, I don't know. But we're probably going to see the same thing with this. The longer this continues, the more hatred happens by people that hate America, and they just turn their attention to the American military.
Our troops are doing incredible work. They've done incredible things for the entirety of this mission and achieved incredible battlefield successes. And you sit there and go on TV for your clickbait about quagmires. It undermines the mission. Your hatred for President Trump blinds you to the truth of the success of this mission and the historic stakes that the president is addressing, which the American people support. Iran's been at war with us for 47 years. You want to talk about a forever war? For 2 months, this president has stared them down. He's going to get a better deal than anyone ever has and ensure that Iran never has.
The forever war has happened for 2 months. Forever war, 2 months, day 62. Forever war. Come on, you. I'm trying not to cuss. You dipsticks. Hegseth is right. I used to work for the guy. Great dude.
A nuclear weapon. I know the American people support that mission despite your loose talk and words like quagmire.
Support journalism you trust. Support PBS News.
PBS is a rag. Don't support them. They suck. But that's where I got the clip from. I don't know what you think about this guy. I don't know what you think about, we got a sub-vet. Several spammers on here promoting some healthy crap. I don't know what that means. Sub-vet, thank you. I don't know what kind of people are spamming whatever. I really can't control it. I mean, if you tell me their names, I can block them, but that's it, right? But what do you think? Do you support what is happening? Everybody is so quick to say forever war. There you go. I agree. Completely agree. And that is what they try to do. They just try to come up with garbage. They come up with talking points and they run with it. And the Democrat Party is better at running with it than Republicans. I just think they're better at it. I don't know why that they're so dumb, but it seems like they are. I mean, look at this article here. Let's go right here. NBC News. Iran war has cost the U.S. $25 billion so far. This is the same news organization that was basically celebrating Iran. Remember whenever all the Congress people in members of Congress were in actually the halls of Congress waving Ukrainian flags? When's the last time you saw a member of Congress waving an American flag? Have you ever seen that?
Joint Chiefs of Staff Dan Kane in front of the House Armed Services Committee. There was certainly some back and forth there with Ranking Member Adam Smith, a Democrat from Washington. And obviously we're hearing some questions there as well from Congressman Courtney, a Democrat from Connecticut as well. A couple things that out there as we were taking a listen to some of that testimony was, of course, we finally got the amount to which this war has cost the American people so far, $25 billion, according to Jules Hurst III. He is
$25 billion. That probably doesn't even touch how much fraud has happened in Minneapolis or California. So clutch your pearls somewhere else. That's my theory on this.
The comptroller and the chief financial officer for the Defense Department. It seems as if even the House Armed Services Committee had not gotten that number until now, when we just heard it in this testimony. Now, $25 billion so far for this 8-week-long war between the United States and Iran. I want to bring in Courtney Kuby now, who is our senior correspondent covering national security of the Pentagon, and standing by for us outside of that room. Courtney,
sorry, I can't listen to her. She's an idiot. Do you think this is worth it? Do you think it's worth it? $100 billion in Cali? I agree. I think that we've probably lost more money through fraud through these different states, Minnesota, Chicago, basically any sanctuary city, I think is a fraud. I think there is some level of fraudulent activity happening in any of those cities. And they won't talk about it. They will not mention it. This is a good, I want you to see this because this really breaks it all down. The ongoing naval blockade. Iran's economy nears collapse. America wins. China's economy suffers. America wins. Europe's economy suffers. America punishes them for betrayal. America wins. America becomes the largest oil exporter in the world. America wins. U.S. oil exports hit a record 6.4 million barrels a day. America wins. That's as good as it gets right now. I'm following this guy, Dr. Eli David. America wins because of all of these things. And boy, I'm going to tell you right now, it feels good. Trump said you were going to be tired of winning. Is there anybody in the chat that's tired of winning yet? I don't know. I'm not. Here we go. How much has the war cost Iran? 435 million a day times 62 equals what? America has one. Dixie Dogs. I'm not tired of winning. Me either. I'm really not tired of winning yet. And I don't, let me see here. Somebody just dropped a Cash App donation. Really appreciate that. Let's see here. Looks like a $10 Cash App donation from, and I can't pull this up. My phone is, I need to get a new phone. I'm on like the iPhone 12 or something. I got to get a new one. Jeremy, $10 super chat. Thank you, Jeremy. I really appreciate it. God bless you. But we're winning. They're losing. They know it. There's nothing they can do about it. And I think it's great. The Iranian government is cooked. This story's coming out this morning. Got to love a cocktail dress at 5 a.m. or 3 a.m. whenever they do this. But here we go.
President Trump reportedly set to be briefed by CENTCOM on new military action against Iran. Madeline Rivera has all of those details in Washington. Hi, Maddie.
Good morning, Carly and Todd. President Trump hasn't been satisfied with the state of negotiations in Iran to the point that he pulled out of those second round of expected talks between U.S. and Iranian officials in Pakistan over the weekend. He says Iran has come a long way, but indicates they have not gone far enough. Now, Axios reports CENTCOM has prepared a plan for a short and powerful wave of strikes on Iran, likely including infrastructure targets, in hopes of breaking the negotiating deadlock, three sources with knowledge said. The hope would be that Iran would then return to the negotiating table, showing more flexibility on the nuclear issue. But when asked Wednesday if he's considering more strikes, the president did not commit, at least publicly. He touts his blockade of Iranian ships. He reportedly sees that as his most effective source of leverage against the regime.
Now they have to cry uncle. That's all they have to do. Just say, we give up. When you have to fly 18 hours every time you want to have a meeting, and you know what the meeting is all about, and you know they're going to give you a piece of paper that you don't like.
How many of you agree with this method? Do you think we should be sending our leadership back and forth to go play games with Iran? I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure that I want to continue. I think it gets dangerous. I think it gets very dangerous. They could time these flights. They know where we're going.
You even leave. It's ridiculous. They've come a long way. The question is whether or not they're going to go far enough. So at this moment, there will never be a deal unless they agree that there will be no nuclear weapons.
But Iran's parliament speaker is mocking the U.S. strategy, saying 3 days in, no well exploded. We could extend to 30 and live stream the well here. That was the kind of junk advice the U.S. administration gets from people like Bessent, who also pushed the blockade theory and cranked oil up to more than $120. Next stop, $140. The issue isn't the theory, it's the mindset. Axios reports other options the president is considering include taking over part of the Strait of Hormuz to reopen it to commercial shipping and using special forces to secure Iran's stockpile of enriched uranium if Iran does not strike a deal.
Okay, so she mentioned two things there that I believe could happen at the same time. We have already taken over a port, and I'm not sure if you're aware of this. A lot of people might not. It's called CENTCOM dropped a little nugget of information. I don't know if they were supposed to, but CENTCOM revealed that we have already taken over a port, and it's called, I believe, Chabahar is the name of this port that I believe we've already taken over. And you give me your interpretation of this. Thank you, Pure Blood, for the $2 super chat. I really appreciate that. Prior to the blockade on Iran, 5 ships were moored. This is from CENTCOM. Were moored or anchored in the Iranian port of Shah Bahar on an average day. Today, more than 20 vessels remain in Shah Bahar as U.S. forces cut off economic trade going into and coming out of Iran during the ongoing blockade. I believe we may have already taken over this port now. And if that is the case, boy, oh boy, oh boy, that tells me there's more happening than the news media knows about. And I'll show you where this is, the Shah Bahar. It is right here. Let's go right here and I'll show you where this port is. This is a port, Shah Bahar, and you can see a lot of their military, not military, their oil storage facility. Now, this is outside of the Strait of Hormuz. You see the strait here. It's about 100 miles, 100 kilometers, actually, 100 kilometers away from that. And this is their port that I believe we have already secured because our blockade is here. You can see that, right? I believe we already have this under our control and probably making money off of it. We're probably going to let the Iranians pay for their own demise. And it feels damn good. Feels damn good to listen to that and to see it, right? So is the storm coming? I think we could be right. God is good all the time. More winning, please, Mr. Trump. Douglas, love your show. Keep it going. God bless you. Trevor, thank you for the super chat. How dare you?
How dare you?
Good morning to all of the vets. $20 super chat. Jake, hit the like button. Likes aren't adding up. Yes, keep smashing that like button. Punch it like it's one of those people. Scoop, Tony, member for 17 months. God bless you. Really appreciate you guys tuning in this morning. We typically try to do these live streams Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, along those lines. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesdays, I'm very busy at my full-time job. So that's why I try to get this stuff out. Like I said, I work a full-time job. I don't have time to waste your time in the mornings because I try not to waste my own. But what are your thoughts? I see a lot of stuff going on in the chat here. The poll I've got in the chat, should the USA keep the blockade in place? 96% of you say yes. Mike, thank you for the super chat for postage. Mike, how dare you?
How dare you?
And Mike, I got your check for $50. Thank you so much for that, Mike. King of Biltong gifted 5 memberships. You can see his website right down below, Biltong USA, sponsor on the channel. And go check out Anton. He's from South Africa. He knows exactly how that stuff happens over there with this apartheid. Find the clip where Brian Mast rips Hakeem a new one. Sorry, I don't have time to look for that, but I appreciate the effort there. Now, the one thing that I think is this game changer is this right here, headed to the Middle East. The Middle East is about to get a dose of these long-range missiles, and I'm happy to see it. I'm glad that they're finally reaching a point of gloves off. The beauty of this, though, is this tells me we're probably about to have boots on the ground because these are land-based. These are land-based. I don't believe they put them in Iraq. I don't believe they put them in Kuwait. I don't believe they put them in the UAE. I believe that they put them on Iranian soil so that they maximize the reach of these. That's kind of what I think. I don't believe you would bring those to that area if you were not going to use them on Iranian soil. They've got a 1,700-mile range, so why would you limit the range by putting them on the UAE or Oman or Kuwait? I don't think you limit that reach. I believe you. Well, I mean, if that information is true, and we control this port, this Chabahar, if we control this port, you can see all of that oil storage there. If we control that, what would stop us from putting some of these land-based missiles, the Dark Eagles, right here, and we fly them right up their keister? What would stop us from doing that? Why wouldn't we do that is the bigger question. Why wouldn't we? Right? I think that today's briefing with the president, things are going to get a little crazy. Making Blankenship, best update on the war. Thank you. God bless you. Tommy Radband, go Navy. Anchors away. Yes. Anchors away, my boys. Drink to the foam. Drink to the foam. That is such a, we're the only branch of the military that has beer in our fight song. So there you go. I mean, if you got beer in your fight song, you know what you're doing. Lines are open. We're going to grab some calls this morning, get some updates from some people around the country. Turn the audio down. It's the only time I'll say it. 615-475-7864. If you've got something to say, if you've got a question, comment, concern, keep the cuss words to a minimum. I try to do the same because I know we're watching in a lot of rooms around a lot of living rooms, things like that. But I'd love to get your opinion. Great song, Go Navy. Yeah. We're the best. That's the best part about it. Let's kick it off. Donkey voice, you're on the clock. Go. Donkey, you're on the clock. Go. No audio from the donkey. Well, all right. We'll see what we got there. Let's see what happened with that one. All right, let's go here. Let's see here. Maybe we got a little audio there going on. We'll see what we can fix here. We might have had a glitch. Fred's on the machine here. Let's see here. My brothers, absolutely, the Navy is the best. We can do everything. I kind of agree with that too. Yeah. Let's see here. We'll try to get back to the audio and get some calls in here. Let's go right here. Let's go. Okay. Let's go. Fred will work it out. He's a good dog. He's actually a really good dog whenever it comes to fixing the mechanical issues that we've got. He is actually the best. Let's go. I've got another clip that I wanted to play. This is coming from Victor Davis Hanson. And Victor, let me grab this. Let's go right here. There we go. And I don't know how many of you like Victor Davis Hanson, but I think the guy's a bit of a legend whenever it comes to any kind of information that he's dropping. The guy's, I believe he's a PhD, a history professor, and let's roll it.
Hello, this is Victor Davis Hansen for the Daily Signal. We're in the 8th week of the Iran war, and things are starting to heat up, even though there's not kinetic action. What do I mean by heating up? The Iranian government has ceased to exist. We don't know, and the Iranians don't know, who holds power. There is the Islamic Revolutionary Guard, there is the theocracy, there is the elected people in parliament, and there is a regular military. And those four groups operate in schizophrenic fashion. Sometimes they freelance and appear very hard line and give press releases that they're not going to negotiate, and anybody who negotiates is a sellout and blah, 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 because they are afraid, each faction, of being called by the other too pro-Western or not hard enough on the United States. By the same token, sometimes they give off signals that they would like to negotiate, because that is predicated on popular resistance. When you get rumors, which are increasing, that the people are getting more and more restive, some of them are being armed, then people think, well, given the crimes that we have committed, should this revolution next time around succeed, we're all going to have a collective noose around our neck. So the bottom line, we can't figure out who's saying what. We were supposed to negotiate this weekend, and Donald Trump was going to send Mr. Kushner and Witkoff over all the way to Pakistan. I think all of us are a little bit dubious, given Pakistan's long history that's checkered with the United States, and it's an Islamic country, very impoverished country, but Donald Trump has very good relations with the foreign minister, the head of defense, and the president. But nonetheless, he canceled that because he couldn't get any negotiation that offered any chance of success from.
I think this is so true that they're not really allowing them to be successful. They're not giving them a chance. Iran wants everything, but they don't want to allow any negotiations. They want it all without giving up anything. And that's not going to happen with the art of the deal.
This motley group. So what are we going to do now in week 8? We've got about a little over 6 months from the midterms. The war, even though it's been spectacularly successful militarily, people want it over, even though that Wall Street is adjusted and we're at record highs now with stocks, which suggests a lot of brilliant people think not only is the war going to be over very soon, but it's going to be especially beneficial to the West in general and to the United States in particular, and especially since we're making an enormous profit selling oil to anybody who can get a hold of it. That said, what do we do at this point? There is a blockade. Time is on our side. The Iranians' strategy has been delay, negotiate, delay, lie, backpedal, go forward, confuse, delay, delay, delay. Why are they trying to do it? They're hoping that public opinion in the United States, on the side of the left, as we've said before, when you have Senator Murphy saying it's awesome when he digests propaganda from the Iranian Ministry of Information and says that boats have broken the blockade, he likes that. They pick up on that. They absorb it. And that gives them confidence to keep delaying. They feel that they can.
Do you think we've reached a point of just being finished with the delays? Just literally say, to hell with this. We're done. Iran, come to the table. If you don't, we're gonna do whatever we want, because right now it seems like that the United States has every card. We have every trump card that we need to finish this block, to finish everything there. I'm sure that the president is also at the point right now of not wanting to negotiate any further. The negotiating is finished. It is time to, close the deal, I guess, would be my best bet. It would be time to close the deal. I don't know if that's going to happen, but hey, That's where we're moving towards. We're moving towards, somebody says some kabooms incoming. Yeah, I could see that. I could see some real kabooms coming in. Yeah, I could see some kabooms coming in here. Let's see what we got. Let's see what we got. I love grabbing the chats here. Let's go right here. Let's see. Time for discombobulator. I don't know what that is, but okay. The discombobulator. Okay. Trump will not make a bad deal. I don't believe that he's capable of making a bad deal right now. We own everything. We own that area. $20 super sticker from Esther. Thank you very much, Esther. God bless you. Is the USA going to put Dark Eagle missiles on the new Trump class guided missile battleship? Thomas, I have no idea. I don't know how I would even begin to answer that, but I believe the Dark Eagle missiles are land-based is the capabilities of that. That's just what I think. I'm not 100% sure, but I believe that's what it is. What is this? Stall for stopwatch. No idea what that means. Spam sushi is cat food. Good. This weekend is right around the corner. Okay. No more Mr. Nice Guy. That was a good one as well, wasn't it? Guys, gals, girls, I am headed to work. Catch you in the next one.